This video will discuss pixel abstraction. We are looking here at a small program that displays a hamburger. So you see here a hamburger, and each time I click the mouse it will take a bite out of the hamburger. If you look at the program, we see that it spends a lot of space on drawing the different graphical elements. So here it's drawing the bun, the lettuce and the tomato, and each of this stage it's mentioning an absolute position of this graphical element. So this is a lack of pixel abstraction. So you're not abstracting from the fact that the hamburger has a position that happens to be at 200, 240. It could be somewhere else. So how would a better program look like? A better program would introduce actually variables for the position of the hamburger, because that's something that's relevant for the animation. So you would introduce variables for that. We would give it initial values, so in this case somewhere in the middle. That happens in the setup routine, and then we actually use those variables for the position of the parts. So for example, now the arc will be at the position hamburger X and hamburger Y, and the slur, the lettuce, will be at hamburger X and hamburger X plus 5. So I move it here. Okay? So now you can see that there is some logic behind it. So we've got the position of the hamburger, that is here, and the lettuce is just 5 pixels next to the position of the hamburger. Okay? The tomato is just 63 positions next to the X and 14 down from the position of the hamburger. So now everything is relative to the position of the hamburger. So this is what we would call lack of pixel abstraction. So lack of pixel abstraction means that you don't use hard-coded values for the X and Y positions. This also applies if you're using mouseX and mouseY everywhere. Okay, so don't use it directly. Introduce variables to model positions. So why would you care? If you have to edit programs like this and make the object move, you have to change too much. If you have to change more than 2 lines, you might suffer it. If it's say more than 6, it's not so good. So what do I mean? Suppose I want to make this hamburger move. I'm not even trying to make it move on the left hand side, because it would be just too much work. On the right hand side, it's just a matter of adding 2 lines somewhere in the main draw method, and I could say hamburger X plus plus, which will increment the X position, and hamburger Y minus minus, for example, decrementing the position. And if I do this, the hamburger moves. So I'm changing 2 lines and it's moving, and I can do this because I have something that represents the position of the animated object. It's fine if you use, instead of the position everywhere, to use translate. Of course not with hard-coded positions. And you can make an exception if the element is rather uninteresting. If there is just some greenish background or a yellow band, sure. If it's not interesting, you can give it fixed positions. But your creature shouldn't be an uninteresting item, and your creature deserves a position, so a variable position. Soon we will look at classes, and then we will even package this even more and give it more structure. So this program is not the end of it, but this is an important first step, introducing variables for all important concepts like the position of an object that you animate.